Hello, welcome to episode 26 of the Daily Disney Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for being here. The holidays are over. Christmas was yesterday, so hopefully you and yours had a fantastic Christmas. And if you were at the Disney Resort, I hope that it was very fun, I guess. It looked insane. It looked very, very crazy. And hopefully it was one that you enjoyed. So anyway, I thank you so much for tuning in. I please ask that you follow us on all of the podcast outlets. Follow us on the YouTube world at The Daily Craig, and then also on the Twitterverse at Daily Disney Pod. So this is episode number 26, and what we will be doing is taking a look at Toy Story Mania, or Toy Story Midway Mania, the ride that is in Hollywood Studios. It was the first Toy Story ride there. It was the one that kind of was the center location before Toy Story Land came, and it still is a big location for that land, but Slinky Dog and Alien Swirl Saucer have kind of taken a little bit of the limelight away from Toy Story Mania, but I still think it's a great ride. I still think it's a lot of fun, and it's one of those that we go on every time we're there. So I just kind of wanted to dig into it and see what we could find out about the ride. So the Toy Story Mania is a 4D interactive attraction. It's at Hollywood Studios, and it's also at Disney's California Adventure, Disneyland Resort, and Tokyo Disney Sea at Tokyo Disney Resort. It's inspired by the Toy Story franchise. It first was unveiled during a press conference at Walt Disney World in January 2007. The Florida version opened officially in May of 2008, on the same date that Buzz Lightyear action figure launched on board the Space Shuttle Flight STS-124. Their objective was to deliver the largest module to the space station, and Buzz Lightyear was along for the ride. While the California version officially opened in June 2008, the Japan version opened in July of 2000. Okay, so we got the ride attraction announced. We're ready to go. The concept is that the park guests wear 3D glasses aboard a spinning vehicle that travels through virtual environments based on classic Carnival Midway games. The vehicle is set up to hold 8 and 4 back-to-back pairs. Small children are also able to ride with an adult on their lap if they're facing forward underneath the safety bar. So you're kind of back-to-back, 4 here, and then you're kind of off to the races there. So the mini games that you have, the attraction features 5 mini games after a practice round where the player can hit targets from 100 to 5,000 points. Each mini game includes at least one Easter egg that can trigger additional targets as gameplay changes. Here are the games. The practice booth is a pie throw, where you're basically pie toss target practice game. You don't know any points, you're just practicing. Ham and eggs, egg throw game featuring Ham and Buttercup from Toy Story 3. Rex and Trixie's Dino Darts. It's a dart throwing game. It replaced Bo Peep's Bahaha Loon Pop, which I thought was really, really cool, but this one's pretty fun as well. The Green Army Men Shoot Camp, which is a baseball throw plate breaking game. Buzz Lightyear's Flying Tossers, it's a ring toss game. And then Woody's Rootin' Tootin' Shootin' Gallery, it's a suction cup shooting game. Each guest score is recorded on an onboard display as points are acquired with individual toy cannons firing simulated virtual targets. Toy Story characters include Woody, Ham, Buzz Lightyear, Rex, Trixie, many other characters along the way during the attraction. Similar technology had been used in Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for Buccaneer Gold at Disney Quest and several other Buzz Lightyear attractions. According to Disney, it's the first attraction created simultaneously by Walt Disney Imagineering for 2 theme parks at the same time. The line of both parks feature a large Mr. Potato Head audio animatronic that interacts with guests through pre-recorded snippets of dialogue performed by the late comedian Don Rickles. Don Rickles was the voice of Mr. Potato Head for all of the Toy Story films. The sophisticated feature identifies people in the audience, sings and tells jokes, and sometimes it even takes off an ear, moves around. You've seen the videos where it takes an ear off and doesn't quite put it back on. It's a very, very sophisticated audio animatronic. It's really, really cool. If it's working properly, it's hilarious. Only 5 mini games can be used at a time, so only one has left the attraction, which we talked about, was Bo Peep's Balloon Pop. Rex and Trixie's Dino Darts was introduced during the release of Toy Story 3. So here's kind of our timeline of the actual attraction. It was announced in January of 2007, and it was announced for Hollywood Studios and for California Adventure at the same time. So that's what we were talking about a minute ago, where it was created for 2 different parks at the same time. The construction began in 2007. May of 2008, it opened in Florida. June in California. January, the single line is removed in California. In May of 2010, Bo Peep got the axe, and in came the Dino Darts. In July of 2012, it opened in Tokyo. So here's where we get real interesting, right? March of 2015, Disney officials announced plans to expand Hollywood Studios. They expanded the version of the ride to improve capacity. In May of 2016, a 3rd track officially opened. So now you got 3 tracks. Let's move people along quicker. Fast Passes added in California in 2017. 2018, with the opening of Pixar Pier in California Adventure, the ride reopened with a new exterior paint job, a new entrance. Okay, a little different. And then in 2018, in June, with the opening of Toy Story Land, a new entrance to Toy Story Mania was opened inside the ride park expansion. The old entrance was closed and converted to emergency exits. So, a couple things have happened. I guess the most recent things that have happened in Florida is we got a 3rd track, which was huge, helped a lot. And then now it's a different area to go in since Toy Story Land opened. At its debut, Toy Story Mania was one of the most technologically sophisticated attractions developed by Walt Disney. It cost $80 million to design and build. It was the first use of industrial Ethernet for a ride's control system. Many of the parts of the attraction control system came from Siemens, which was part of Spaceship Earth, and Hewlett-Packard, which was part of Mission Space. The ride was the biggest system that had been built at the time and ran on one of the most advanced automation systems to date. The control system is divided into 3 components, one for the vehicles, one for the game, and one for the special effects. The attraction features more than 150 PCs, which included one HP Windows XP PC for each of the 56 game screens, as well as others that control the special effects of the game. At the game screens, 2 tracking systems provide the game's control system with the vehicle's exact location, making sure the gameplay is not affected or even changed at all with vehicle position. Excuse me. The game doesn't care if the car parks in the same spot every time. It needs to know where each car was actually parked so it can compensate and make changes. Sensors are in the middle of the shooter, your little gun that you shoot there, provide information to its orientation, which is fine-tuned using data at the ride vehicle, the screen, the rotation of the seats, everything like that. As the games are software-based, changes can be made to the attraction lineup without significant effort. In April 2010, they announced plans to replace Bo Peep with Rex and Trixie, and the change took place May 21st, 2010. A new game included some new characters from Toy Story 3. So you can basically change this like that, right? You could just do a system reboot, do an update, boom, and then there you go. Excuse me. So let's see what else here. You know, I mean, it goes by Toy Story Midway Mania or Toy Story Mania. Officially, it's called Toy Story Mania. The music in the ride is all about Toy Story. And then there is a Toy Story Mania video game that was released in September 2009 for the Nintendo Wii. It's kind of that same type thing. It was also released to Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 in 2012. You know, if you're playing these games at home, that's fine. It's just carnival games. So yeah, you can play them. But basically, what I wanted to talk about was just how cool the ride is and how much fun it is. The technology is top notch. The ride itself is really, really cool. Right when you get there, right when you start walking through the queue, you see the big Lincoln Logs and the big, Legos and the big, popsicle sticks, and everything is huge because you're the size of a toy. And we've been through Toy Story before. I mean, these movies have been out for a long time, so everybody understands the concept. But you really do feel like this is amazing. I'm in this world, not just the Toy Story land, but also just this ride. And then once you get in there, you see Mr. Potato Head, you see everything. The ride queue can be long, but it doesn't feel that way because there's so much stuff to look at. There's stuff on the wall, there's stuff above you, there's those Tinker toys everywhere, there's different things to see and do, and there's just so much interactive stuff with this ride that I love it. I think it's awesome. There is a different way that you can hit a few things and get 99, all the nines, but it's just fun to kind of compete. It's fun to compete against your kids, your family, and see who can get the highest score. It's very, very cool and fun because I feel like it's a different type of ride every single time. Yes, the carnival rides are the same, games are the same, everything looks the same in the field, but it just, the whole concept that you can go after something different, get different points, or this looks different. Sometimes that dialogue is something you pick up that you didn't pick up last time. So in my book, this is a really, really good ride. This is one that we ride every single time. When there was the Fast Pass World, we would always get a Fast Pass for this and try to get up there as quick as we can, even though the queue is awesome, the queue is fun. Sometimes these lines just, sometimes these lines can be really, really long. So anyway, it's a cool ride. It's fun. It's exciting. What do you think? What do you think now that we kind of talked about it? What do you think about the technology? Yes, this was done in 2007, 2008. So, I mean, we're going on, 15 years? Getting close to 13, 14, 15 years. So the technology is it starting to become outdated? Sort of, kind of. We'll see what happens. But ultimately, I still think this is a ride you ride every time. I still think this is a ride that's really, really fun. And I want to know, what about Toy Story Midway Mania? Is it one of those that's kind of gotten a little older? You've been on there numerous times. You've got the max score. Do you pass over it? Or do you still experience the world of Toy Story? I think this really embodies Toy Story in the land. You feel like a toy when you're walking through there, and then you get to go and play all these games. You see all the characters interacting and stuff like that. So let me know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you feel. And I thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you do like and subscribe us. Check us out on YouTube. And we will talk to you later.